What's happening, gang? Back live in the Secret Stash. I'm your host, Jesse Ibanez, Real Talk Radio San Diego. Man, we're having some fun with our guests in the studio today. Just a real quick rewrap. David Foley and Erin Foley of David W. Foley Attorney, and then Roberta Robinson and Daniel Wilson of Robinson and Wilson Law Corporation. You guys have been killing it today. Definitely doing the bill of leaving us a little better.
A good analogy.
Than how. Oh, dude, another point for you on that one. Someone's on fire today. Did you give her some of your coffee? You said your souped up coffee.
It's all her.
It's all natural, huh? So, gang, final thoughts on this, right? So, perhaps I'll start with you, Roberta, since you're on fire already. So, maybe put like a bookend on this topic for us. So, maybe some final thoughts, lessons, discussions, pitches, plugs, you name it.
Well, you're a realtor, Jesse. Am I right?
Hold on.
Another one.
Yes.
I just want to talk to my audience here. So if I may speak to you and even to the realtors out there, I just want to remind everybody, after a death, there's often a new income tax basis on real property. That means that lifetime gain is gone. And you have to think about that when you are going to sell property or keep it as a rental and continue to depreciate it. Also, in the world of Proposition 13, many transfers from parents to children can occur without reassessing for property tax purposes.
Right.
So children, think twice before you sell property you inherited from your parents.
Ooh, God. That's really good. And I'm going to challenge you on that a little bit. I bet you that 99.9% of the listening audience right now doesn't know what you meant in the first part of it about the lifetime tax thing. Could you just expound on that briefly?
All right. Well, let's say...
I know you're not a CPA, but...
Very close.
Right.
So let's say mom owns a house. And sometimes I ask people, what did you buy it for? And they're telling me $20,000, $40,000. Remember those days. Right. And now a house in San Diego is what, $400,000 or $500,000 for sure. So if mom were to sell that house, she has all that profit from maybe $20,000 to $500,000 worth of gain. And if she sells it in her lifetime, she's got to report the gain. She probably has a $250,000 capital gains tax exclusion, but the rest of it is subject to capital gains tax.
Right.
Well, if mom holds on to that property and instead leaves it to her children, at her death, all that capital gain is wiped out, and the kids can actually sell the house without tax on gain. Those realtors love this.
Yeah, nice work.
Okay.
Well done, too. Well played.
Yeah, I think a lot of parents think, oh, I just don't want to deal with this house. And they'll call and say, well, I just want to give my daughter the house now, or I want to put her on title. And we say, no. It's better for the daughter to inherit the house through the trust than to take title during the lifetime for those tax reasons.
You guys are killing it. All these points coming in the final segment here. That's great.
I'm so impressed with our competitors.
Oh,
not really.
Yeah.
Roberta and
collaborators.
Daniel. If I lived in the North County, I'd hire them. No question about that. But
that's got to get a point too, right?
That shows that what's the difference between planners and litigators.
Yeah, there you go.
We just want people to know that we're there when you really need us. People procrastinate on doing their estate plans. So the last minute, need a lawyer, Google us. We come right up on the first page. So California Living Trust, we can do a good job for you and get it done efficiently and with a modest fee.
Yeah, I like that thought. Well played. What do you think, Daniel?
Yeah, I mean, get something done. Something's better than nothing. And, many estate planning attorneys, there's no charge for that initial consultation, so it's no skin off of your back, and you make you feel like you did something good for the day. And as far as what we do is we provide free annual seminars to all of our existing clients and friends of clients, and we talk about what's new in estate planning, and we go over the basics and all the new laws that have come forth each year. And so if you want to contact us, you can email us at info@trustlaw.us, and we'll invite you to one of our seminars. And again, just try to have something. It's better than nothing.
And where do you guys have those seminars? That sounds awesome.
So we're in the Rancho Bernardo area, and typically we have them at the Remington Club, which is an assisted living facility. And we have them throughout the week, and it's generally in February, so all the new laws have come out, and we can wrap up what has come forward this last year. And a few years ago, we had some major tax law changes, so we're still seeing some rippling effects on that. And so even if you have an existing estate plan and even if you reviewed it maybe just 5 years ago, it's probably time to at least speak to your estate planning attorney to see if you need to update it. You have plenty of opportunities right now to simplify your estate plan. So more so for a husband and wife, it's time to really think these things through.
Let's cap with maybe a feel good thing to kind of end out the hour, right? So we kind of got into some nuts and bolts there. Really important stuff. I would hope that you would agree. Stash Nation, I hope that you would agree as well. But do you have a favorite like success story or perhaps like a little case study or something that you can leave us with?
Right. Well, a lot of the times, towards the end of someone's life, if they're admitted to an emergency room or they become incapacitated, we'll get a call from the kids and they'll want to know what documents are in place. What do I need to do? And so we can provide them with the existing documents that our clients had, and they work with them. And if the parent passes away, they'll come to us afterwards and say, thank you so much for having this done, because it made it so much easier. And we've heard horror stories from other kids where they had to go to court for a conservatorship, or the bank, the bank just wouldn't talk to them or release any funds, or the doctors wouldn't talk to them because there was no healthcare directive. And so having these documents in place, although it's maybe hard to really face these things, when it actually push comes to shove, they're really happy that they had them.
That's great. That's great. What comes up for me also is that thought that like whenever someone's going through something, everything seems to go in a file, and rarely ever is that file quickly accessible when you really need it, right?
Right.
I even think about like annually we send people out their HUD-1s for any transactions that happen during the year. Just a simple document, probably the most important one out of the entire VAT, but maybe only 10% of them know that we actually gave one to them at the closing, and we're always giving them back. And we just made it a process now. We just we mailed them their HUD-1s every single year to make sure that they have them in between tax time. That is a critical piece, because we're talking about something silly when you're not stressed out or freaked out like your taxes, even though I guess you could argue that could be the case too. When you're going through something challenging like this, you're not thinking with all your cylinders, right? So you guys stepping up and being there for that, I think that's a really cool part. Good job, you. David and Erin, what say you? Any good success stories to end with?
I would just say in general, I don't know many areas of the law where you get so many hugs from clients, or at least I do. I mean, just after they come in and sign their trust and their documents, and they've, checked it off their list, and they're just so relieved, especially those with, minor children. So I get a lot of hugs. And
now, Dad, are you okay with how much hugs your daughter is getting?
I don't get any.
So it is, it's an honor. It's a blessing to be able to, help families. That's the part we really like about it, I think, of all ages and backgrounds. So, because like I say, you don't have to be high net worth to need a trust in California either.
Yeah, David?
I wish I would have written a book about all the clients we've met and the fascinating backgrounds. I keep thinking about the fellow at Pearl Harbor as the ship was being strafed. He was running down the deck, and a lot of stories like that they're unforgettable.
Yeah. Can I rebrand you guys as the hugging attorneys?
Yes.
Sure.
Did that just happen live in Stash right now?
Go for it.
I love it. And by the way, if you want to catch David and Erin over at David W. Foley Attorney, you can call them at 619-284-2444. I'll give that number one more time. It's 619-284-2444.
And the website.
And the website, go ahead.
California Living Trust, plural, trust.com.
Yeah. Final thoughts?
This has been wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you guys for hanging out.
Thanks for the invitation.
Yeah.
Appreciate it very much. Flanked, of course, by my other main duo. I don't know. We got to get a little tag. Everybody's getting a tagline today. So apparently, what would your new tagline be?
We're here when you need us.
Fair enough.
Right.
David, anything?
Well, again,
Or Daniel?
I just say, review these things, update them, talk to people. That's really the biggest takeaway you can take from this.
I appreciate you guys hanging out in the Stash. You can catch them, by the way, Roberta Robinson and Daniel J. Wilson over at Robinson and Wilson Law Corporation, and that's at 858-485-1990. I'll give that number one more time, 858-485-1990, and they can reach you online at...
It'll be www.trustlaw.us.
Nice work, gang. Well done. Well played. Well played. Well played. And Stash Nation, appreciate you guys hanging out for another edition. We'll be back here, same bat time, same bat channel, 10 a.m. next Tuesday, ESPN Radio 1700. Thanks to my man, Engineer Steve, for keeping it fresh in the Stash. And thank you guys for hanging out. We'll be back here next week. Check this episode and every episode that we've done in advance of this over at secretstashradio.com. See you later.